The little ones say thank you by coming up and giving you a hug and smiling, but the older ones can really articulate, and they'll tell us, you've given us a sense of hope.
Being there together, being there without any harsh feelings, the kids just got so close, and we just enjoyed being there with them.
The stories were just, it was so alike to mine that it was almost scary. I just felt like we connected right then and there.
The story of Pendleton Place began with the friendship of two women here in Greenville who cared what happened to children. Caroline Johnston and Sheila Lee were members of the Junior League of Greenville. Through the course of a conversation with a friend who was a police officer, they received some really disturbing news. The police officer told them that when children were removed from abusive homes, they were often housed in the city jail because there was nowhere else for them to go. Caroline and Sheila decided this was completely unacceptable, and they decided to take some action. And the Junior League as a whole came behind them to support them. Within 2 years, they had raised the funds needed to open Pendleton Place.
We became involved initially because we had just come to this area. We just gotten out of the Peace Corps. There was an ad in the paper for house parents. And when we were in the Peace Corps, we were teachers, and we also ran an orphanage during the summers.
When Pendleton Place opened in 1975, it was a simple 3-story home that could provide care for up to 14 children. It was the only place of its kind in Greenville. It was absolutely unique.
It was a rainy, like about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Jim Adams from DSS brought over a little boy, about 3, a very small 3, named Willie, to the house. We went, and he of course didn't have anything with him. Found him a stuffed animal that he chose, and got some clothes out for him, gave him a bath, got him ready for supper, and I think I maybe gave him a snack before we did all of this. And he's a very sweet little boy, and that was the first.
In the early days, we had children that were from the ages of 6 months up to 18 years, both boys and girls.
We usually have babies and toddlers that went to bed early, but also got up early. And then we had the school-age kids and teenagers, and Lenny would stay up with the teenagers and then take them to school in the morning. We had to kind of tag team it, because except for the housekeeper and the social worker, we were the full-time, so we were definitely a tag team.
Well, we used to try and make it like a family, and so a lot of times we'd have game night and different kids could do different things. Some kids were really good at charades, some kids were really good at making drawings.
Eventually we had volunteers start coming in for just like little crafty things.
Greenville's changed a lot since Pendleton Place started in 1975. But what's not changed is that children are still being hurt, abused, and neglected by their families. In 2010, Pendleton Place provided a safe home for 230 children in our community. None of that would be possible without the creativity and hard work of the Junior League and others in our community.
I became a volunteer with some Bible study girls from our church, and as soon as I found out where they were volunteering at and what Pendleton Place was all about, I was all in. One night we came and we brought manicures and pedicures and wax, put their hands in wax. They thought it was the greatest thing ever, and I just think that it was because they felt normal. They talk about a lot with us about how they feel different at school, and that breaks my heart for them, because I remember that, like, everybody knew you were the weird kid. I came from a broken home like them. I actually left home at 15 and was on my own from then on, and I didn't have a place like Pendleton Place to go to. I didn't have a secure atmosphere. I had to kind of live, paycheck to paycheck and friends and, random people. And so coming here and connecting with these girls, and I can actually say, I don't know your story, but I've been there. I can relate with you, And I think that that speaks really, really loudly to them that they don't think anybody understands them. One of my favorite experiences at Pendleton Place was when I had the opportunity to get to know a girl named Katie on the teen hall. Katie was 17, getting ready to graduate, and she really just expressed to me how much she loved being at Pendleton Place, how home was just not a good environment, and how she wanted to be here. She was thankful, she was loving to the little kids, and she was respectful to all the adults, and she just really knew that this was the beginning of her life, that they, you know, were taking good care of her and were going to give her everything that she needed to go out and be successful in life. By chance, really, she just kind of shared with me her plans for the future and why she left home, and I was just able to take that opportunity to encourage her. I remember her even saying, you mean you're normal now, like you came out okay? And I said, yeah, and you're going to come out okay too, like you're going to get through this and it's going to make you stronger. These children are the future of our community. They need the love and the support, and that takes money, it takes financial donations, it takes volunteer hours, and it's just the right thing to do.
If you don't take care of the children, the society is letting go of its responsibility to take care of the least of these, and the abused, neglected, and abandoned will not improve their lives.
Kids drive our future. We as a community must recognize that we can and should and do have a responsibility to help every single child, including the children that land in a home or in a facility like Pendleton Place.